Okay, this is SAT Math, Set 38, Module 2 Hard, Problem Solving. So let's begin. Number 1, which expression is equivalent to this one for all values of x and y for which the expression is defined? It looks like it can be simply done by factoring the numerator and cancel one of the factors with what? With the denominator. So x to the 50th power can be rewritten as x to the 25th squared minus, and this can be also written as y to the 25th squared over x to the 25th minus y to the 25th. So if you fact this is difference of squares, so that is factored as x to the 25th power plus y to the 25th power times x to the 25th minus y to the 25th. Okay, the denominator is this one. So you can cancel these two. So the ones that are remaining is the x to the 25th plus y to the 25th. So answer would be D. Okay, number 2. Jake has a collection of 23 coins consisting of nickels, dimes, and quarters only. So this is number of coins. So if you represent number of nickels as N, dimes D, quarters Q, then you can write down this equation, N plus D plus Q is equal to 23. And the value of each is what? That's 5 cents, that's 10 cents, quarters is 25 cents. You can rewrite that as 5 times N plus 10 times D plus 25 times Q would be, okay, it says he has 3 more dimes and nickels and the total value of his collection is $3.20. So if you add up all these three values, you end up with 320 cents. Okay, and this one says he has 3 more dimes than nickels. So this means, so you got more dimes, okay? So D is equal to N plus 3 because you have 3 more dimes than nickels. So you can replace this D with N plus, you can replace D with N plus 3 for this D and this D. So the first equation becomes, when you replace D with N plus 3, it becomes 2N plus Q is equal to 20. And then if you plug in N plus 3 here, you end up with 5N. Let me write it down here. 5N plus, just multiply 10 to this one. That's 10N plus 30 plus 25Q is equal to 320. So if you rearrange the terms, that's 15N plus 25Q is equal to 290. Okay? And this second equation can be simplified to, if you divide each side by 5, that's 3N plus 5Q is equal to 58. So that's first equation, that's the second equation. Let me use let's use substitution method. So number 1 becomes, okay, let me rewrite that as Q is equal to 20 minus 2N and plug this into this Q. So 3N plus 5 times 20 minus 2N is 58. So 3N plus 100 minus 10N is 58. So negative 7N is equal to negative 42. So N is negative 42 divided by negative 7, so that's 6. Okay, plug this back into this N to find out Q. Q is then 20 minus 12, so that's 8. Okay, In the end, it says how many more quarters does Jake have than nickels? That's number of quarters, that's number of nickels. How many quarters, how many more quarters does he have? 2, okay? B. Number 3, the sum of the roots of the equation of this one, where a is a constant, is 13 over 6. What is the product of the roots of the equation? So I said this many times in class. To find out the sum and product of the roots, you have to have leading coefficient of 1. So in this case, since leading coefficient is a, you divide each side by a first. So you end up with x squared minus 52 over ax plus 24 over a is equal to 0. And if you do that, this number, the coefficient of x, represents the negative sum. So negative sum is equal to negative 52 over a. So sum is equal to 52 over a. But this one says the sum of the roots is this one, 13 over 6. So this thing is 13 over 6. So you cross multiply to find out a. So 13a is equal to 52 times 6. So a is 52 times 6 divided by 13. So you can cancel these two. That's 1, that's 4. So a must be 24. But it's asking for what is the product of the roots of the equation. The number at the end right there represents the product. That's 24 over a, but we found out a already. So 24 divided by 24. So the answer is 1. Okay. Okay, number 4. If p minus q is 6 more than r plus s, okay, so that means p minus q is 6 more than r plus s. So you have to add 6 to r plus s. And p plus q is 3 less than r minus s. So p plus q is 3 less. So we have r minus s, and you have to subtract 3. What is the p minus r? All right, I think what I can do is, from here, I will directly add these two equations together. Then this minus q and plus q will disappear. Plus s and minus will disappear. That's why I'm adding these two. So p plus p is 2p. R plus r is 2r. These are gone, basically. If you add these two together, that's 3. So move this thing, it's asking for p minus r, move this thing over here. So 2p minus 2r is 3. Factor out 2. 2 times p minus r is 3. So p minus r is 3 over 2. So the answer is B. Number 5. The real lines intersect as shown in the given figure. What is the value of x? Alright, this x is same as this x. They are vertical angles. If that's 130, that has to be 50. If this is 140, that has to be 40. So sum of the interior angles must be 180, so x must be 90. Okay, easy peasy. Let's move to 6. What is the value of this thingy right here? So if we have a square root on the right hand side, I'm going to square each side. So x minus 5 squared is equal to 2x squared minus 18x plus 37. Let's expand this one. So x squared minus 10x plus 25 is equal to 2x squared minus 18x plus 37. Let's move everything on the left hand side to the right hand side. So 2x squared minus x squared is x squared. minus 18x plus 10x, so that's minus 8x. 37 minus 25 is 12, is equal to 0. You can simply factor this one. So you can factor it like x minus 6, x minus 2 is equal to 0. So x is either 6 or 2. Okay. So when you look at these answer choices, there's 2, there's 6. So what is really the answer? So whenever the equation has square root inside, square root in it, you have to check your answer, okay? Because you actually squared both sides of this one, and you solved the squared version, not this one, okay? So in that case, you may have like, extraneous solution. So one of these, or both of these, or none of these, okay, cannot be the solution of this. So anyway, plug in 2 to this one and check if it satisfies the equation here. So x, when you plug in 2 here, if the left-hand side becomes negative 3, and you immediately know that, okay, square root of something cannot be negative number. It's going to be a positive number. Square root is always positive number, okay? So it cannot be equal to negative 3. So this cannot be the answer immediately, okay? So just keep checking your answer, okay? Plug in 2, what do you get? That's 2x squared. 2 times 4, 8, minus 18 times 2, that's 36, plus 37. So what do we have here inside? That's 9, okay? So that's square root of 9, which is basically equal to 3. Obviously, 3 is not equal to negative 3, so 2 cannot be your answer. So the only answer that's left over is 6. The answer is D. Number 7, a circular sidewalk of uniform width surrounds a circular garden. If the area of the garden and the sidewalk together is 169 pi square feet, and the area of the garden alone is 144 pi square feet, what is the width in feet of the sidewalk? All right, it's a circular sidewalk and circular garden. So this just means, it says uniform width. So this means that we have a concentric circles. So garden is basically a circle, and the sidewalk, so we have a bigger circle with the same center, okay, like this, and its width is basically uniform. So this is radius of, lowercase r represents radius of what? Of the circular garden, and capital R represents the radius of the outer circle here. So this one basically says area of this circular garden, so this area is pi r squared, and this thing is basically 144 pi. If the area of the garden and the sidewalk together, so this area and this area together, so we're talking about the area of the bigger circle, that's pi capital R squared is 169 pi. What is the width in feet of the sidewalk? The width is capital R minus lowercase r. So let's find out what those values are. So here r squared is, let's cancel out this pi, it's 144. So r must be 12. Here, let's cancel this pi. So r is equal to 13. So what is the difference between the two? 1. That's 13 minus 12. It's 1. Okay, so answer is A. Okay, number 8. In the data set, this one, the numbers are listed in increasing order. If the mean of the data set equals the median, what is the value of n? All right. Median right here is basically the number in the center, but number in the center is basically what? Number between 5 and 9. So the middle number, I mean average of these two would be 7. So 7 is the median. And this is also the mean, okay, in this case. So to find out the mean, you add up all the numbers, 2 plus 3 plus 5 plus 9 plus 11 plus n, and there are 6 numbers. You divide this thing by 6 to get what? The mean is 7, that's 7. So multiply this to 7, that's 42. Add up all these numbers, that's what? 5, 10, 19, 30, 30 plus n. So n must be 12. Okay. Number 9. A deck of uniform width surrounds a rectangular swimming pool that measures 20 feet by 28 feet. So we have a rectangular pool, 20 by 28. And it's a deck of uniform width surrounds a rectangular swimming pool. So it has to look like this. And the widths are all the same. If the total area of the pool and deck is 884 square feet, what is the width in feet of the deck? Okay. So if this is x, this is also x. So this length must be, here's x2, so that's 28 plus 2x. And this length must be 20 plus 2x. If the total area of the pool and the deck is 884 square feet, so that means 20 plus 2x times 28 plus 2x is equal to 884. Okay, so we can find x from here, and that's going to be our answer, okay? To do it a little bit simpler than what we have, let's factor out 2 from this factor and factor out also 2 from this factor. So 2 and 2 are coming out. So that's 4 times 10 plus x, that's 14 plus x is 884. Divide each side by 4, so this becomes 221. Now let me expand this one. So 10 times 14 is 140. That's 14x, that's 10x. So add them together, that's 24x plus x squared is 221. So x squared plus 24x minus, what is that, 81 is equal to 0. So is it factorable? 81 is, of course, 9 times 9, but if that's not going to do it, I think we can use 27 times 3. Okay, let me write it down here. X squared plus 24x minus 81 is equal to 0. We can use 27 and negative 3. Okay, so x plus 27, x minus 3 is equal to 0. X cannot be negative, so x must be 3. Okay, so answer is P. Number 10. Jack, working alone, can paint a room in 4 hours, while Jill, working alone, can paint the same room in 10 hours. So for something like this, you have to get a what? The rate of work. So Jack can do one task in 4 hours. So what that means is that he can do 1/4 of a task or job. Let me call this thing a job per hour. And Jill can finish the same job in T hours. So her rate of work is 1 over T. She can do 1/10 of a job. So that much job per hour. When Jack and Jill work together for 5 or 12 of an hour to paint a room, they can paint 1/6 of the room. What is the value of T? So if they work together, their rate of work is 1 over 4 plus 1 over T. Okay, the unit would be job per hour. Okay, but this one says if they work together, they can do one task. They can complete one job in 5 or 12 of an hour. So what that means is that they can do one job over 5 over 12 of an hour. So this means 1 over 4 plus 1 over T is equal to 12 over 5. Wait a second. When Jack and Jill work together for 5 over 12 of an hour to paint a room, they can paint they can do 1/6 of the room. That they don't quite finish one job. It's 1 over 6 job in 5 over 12 of an hour. So let me rewrite that. So if you calculate it, it becomes what, 12 over 30, which is equal to divide each number by 6. That's 2 over 5. So you can solve this one, okay? So 1 over T is equal to 2 over 5 minus 1 over 4, which is, okay, common denominator is 20. That's 8 minus 5. So that's 3 over 20. So T must be equal to, the reciprocal of this, 20 over 3. Okay? Next one. Which of the following gives the range of all possible values of x that satisfy the inequality? This one. Okay, for something like this, if you can graph this one, that's basically what? 9 minus x squared is a parabola that is concave down. Okay, and its y-intercept is right there. The portion of the graph where y is greater than or equal to 0 is from here to there, okay? This portion. So our answer would be this x value from this x value to it includes all of this and this one. So what is these two? Those are x-intercepts. So just factor this one and find out the x-intercept. It's very simple. That's 3 plus x, 3 minus x is equal to 0. So x is -3 or 3. So that's -3 and 3. So x must be between -3 and 3, inclusive of the end values. So it must be C. 12. Which of the following could be the equation of the graph shown in the xy plane? So when you look at the answer choices, it's written in what? Vertex form. So you can locate the vertex here. Its coordinate is 3, -4. So it must be y is equal to, the leading coefficient is 1 because there's no other things here available to choose. So that must be x minus 3 whole thing squared minus 4, right? So the answer is D. 13. Which expression is equivalent to this one? Looks like we have to combine everything. So common denominator would be 4xy. So for the first fraction, we need to multiply 4y. For the second one, nothing, so minus 1. The third one, minus 4x. All right, so let's factor out 4. Then that becomes y minus x, and then minus 1 over 4xy. That's pretty simple. So the answer would be, is it B? Yes, B. 14. A gallon of paint is used to paint a room. 1/3 of the paint is used on the first day, and 1/3 of the remaining paint is used on the second day. What fraction of the original paint amount is available on the third day? So if you use up 1/3 of the paint, it's asking for the remaining stuff, okay? So if you use 1/3 of the paint on the first day, the one that remains is 2/3. 2/3 after the first day. And 1/3 of the remaining paint is used on the second day. So how much of this one is remaining? 2/3 again. What fraction of the original paint amount is available on the third day? So that's basically remaining stuff. That's 4/9. Okay, so that's your answer. All right, 15. In the xy plane, the y-intercept of line L is 4. If the slope of line L is negative, which of the following could be the x-intercept of line L? So this just means y-intercept is right there at 4, and its slope is negative. So it has to, the left end has to go up and right end has to go down like that if it has a negative slope. So x-intercept must be on the positive side of the x-axis. It cannot be 0, it cannot be -1, it should be 1. So 3 only, okay? 16. If P to Q is equal to 3 to 4 and Q to R is 5 to 6, what is the ratio of P to Q to R? So P to Q to R. So P to Q is 3 to 4. Q to R is 5 to 6. So this number is different. So you have to make this one the same. How? Okay. What is the common multiple of 4 and 5? It's going to be 20, right? It's 20, right? So if you have middle number 20 there, so what do you have to multiply here? That's, you multiply 4 and 4. So this number becomes 24. For this 4 to become 20, you have to multiply 5, right? So multiply 5 here, then you must multiply 5 there too. So that's 15. So the ratio of P to Q to R is 15 to 20 to 24. So answer is C. 17. In 3 years, William's age will be 4 times Bernard's age last year. Today, the sum of their ages is 48. What is the Bernard's age today? It's asking for Bernard's age today. Wait a second. So let's set the variables here. In 3 years. So in 3 years from now, okay, William's age. Okay, at present time, William's age is W, and Bernard's age is B, let's say. In 3 years, William's age is basically W plus 3, right? Because it's after 3 years. And this age is basically equal to, okay, will be 4 times Bernard's age last year. Bernard's age last year is B minus 1. But then this is 4 times Bernard's age last year. So that's 4 times B minus 1. today, the sum of their ages is 48. So if you add these two together, that's going to be 48. What is the Bernard's age today? So what's B? That's what the question is asking. So from here, let's rearrange that. W plus 3 is 4B minus 4. So 4B minus W is equal to 7. And the second equation is this one. B plus W is equal to 48. So we can add these two together to eliminate W. So 5B is equal to 55. So B is equal to 11. Okay? Easy peasy. All right, number 18. What is the value of this thing if 7 plus y over 5 minus y is equal to y? All right, let's look at this. That means 7 plus y is equal to y times 5 minus y. Let's expand this. 5y minus y squared. So let me move this thing over here. So y squared minus 4y plus 7 is equal to 0. Basically, this is this, right? So this value must be equal to 0. That's the answer. 19. If x comma y are the solutions to the system of equations and xy is greater than 0, what is the value of x plus y over 4? All right, let me see. What can I do here? Let's move this thing over here, move that thing over there. Then it becomes 1 over x plus 1 over y is equal to 4. And combine these two fractions by using common denominator. So xy, y plus x here in the numerator is equal to 4. But then what this one says is that, so multiply xy to this one, or you can switch these two. That's an equivalent expression. So 1 over 3 is equal to xy. So y plus x over xy is 1 over 3 is equal to 4. So y plus x is equal to, multiply this to this one, so 4 times 1 over 3, which is 4 over 3. Okay. Oh, it's asking for x plus y over 4. So in this case, okay, you can switch these two numbers. So y plus x plus y, same thing. So x plus y over 4 must be equal to 1 over 3. So the answer is A. In the xy plane, the circle's center is at negative 6 comma negative 7. So the circle's equation would be x plus 6 squared plus y plus 7 squared is equal to its radius squared. The point negative 6 comma 5 lies inside the circle, and the point a comma negative 7 lies outside the circle. If the circle's radius is r and r is an integer, what is the value of r? So, okay, let's locate the center here. The center is at negative 6 comma negative 7 here. That's the center. And negative 6 comma 5, which would be negative 6 comma 5 is up here. That's outside of the circle. And 8 comma negative 7, 8 comma negative 7 would be over here. That's the, okay, Oh, it says inside. Sorry, I read it wrong here. This point is inside. It lies inside. And this point lies outside. So if this is inside the circle and this is the center, the radius must be greater than this length. So this length is what? It's -7 to 5. So that's 12. So radius has to be greater than 12 in order for this point to be inside the circle. How about this? That's outside the circle. So this length goes from -6 to 8. So this length is 14. So what that means is that for this point to be outside of the circle, that r, the radius of the circle, must be smaller than 14. Okay, but this one says the circle's radius r, and r is an integer. So the integer between 12 and 14 is 13. So the answer is B. Okay, 21. In a group of 10 women, only 4 have blonde hair. If 3 women are randomly selected from the group without replacement, what is the probability that at least 2 women will have blonde hair? Okay, so out of 10 people, only 4 have blonde hair. So you're choosing 3 women, and out of that, what is the probability that it says at least? So remember I said whenever you have at least, do the opposite case. 1 minus probability of the opposite case, okay? So at least 2 means 2 blonde hair. We're choosing 3. 2 blonde hair or 3 blonde hairs. The opposite case of that is 0 blonde hair only, or 1 blonde hair. Same thing, but let's use this. Okay, 1 minus probability of choosing 0 blonde hair minus probability of 1 blonde hair. So 1 minus probability of 0 blonde hair out of 3 is, okay, it says without replacement. So if you are choosing 3, the first one has, has to be non-blonde. So the probability of choosing non-blonde is 6 over 10 for the first pick. For the second pick, so the number of non-blonde that's remaining is 5 if the first one is non-blonde. So that's 5 over then 9 because it's without replacement. And the last one is we have 8 remaining, and the number of women that are not blonde, who are not blonde is what? 4. So multiply all these 3. So that's, wow, that's 30, 120 over, that's 720. So that's what? Divided by, that's 1 over, what, 6? That's 1 over 6. And minus probability of choosing 1 blonde. Probability of choosing 1 blonde is something like you have blonde, not blonde, not blonde, and not blonde, blonde, not blonde, and not blonde, not blonde, blonde. So the first one must be what? 4 out of 10 is blonde. And next, 9 out of how many? There are 6 women who are not blonde still. And if non-blonde is chosen in the second choice, then there will be 5. non-blonde left over. So you will get this. And for the second one, you'll basically get the same probability. The first one is 6 over 10. Oops, let me erase this. The next one is out of 9, number of blondes is 4. And out of 8, non-blonde, one of them is chosen here, 5. So basically in the denominator you have 10, 9, 8, same as this one. And in the numerator you have 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, and 6, they are same. This will be same thing too. So this probability of choosing one blonde is basically 3 times this probability. 10 times 9 times 8 times 4 times 5 times 6. All right, so you cancel this. You cancel this. 1, 2. Let's cancel this one. 2 times 3 is 6. So these are gone altogether. That's 1. That's 2. So that's basically 1 over 2. So that's basically 1 over 2 minus 1 over 6. So that's what? 2 over 6, which is 1 over 3. So this is going to be your answer. Okay? Number 22. What is the value of this thingy when x is equal to 0.2? Oh, are you kidding me? Just plug it in. I don't know why this kind of question is number 22. So 3 times 0.2 squared minus 1.3 times 0.2 minus 0.9. Okay, if you don't want to do this, you can use your calculator. So 3 times 0.04 minus, that's what, 0.26. Okay, minus 0.9. So that's 0.12 minus 0.26 minus 0.9. So that's what? Minus, okay, that's minus 0.14. So if you do that, that's negative 1.04. So the answer is C. Right. That's it for set 38 hard module, math hard module 2.